I was wrong in doing what I did.
No! Are you listening?
Sean here, video number 7,422. Okay, it's not that many, but it has been a lot. A whole lot. A lot of videos that I recorded that I either got halfway through and I'm like, or I just recorded, went back and listened to and was like, We're going to talk about when Lorne thought he was at the height of his power and when he actually could have been. Now, first off, when I say height of his power, I mean he was in his element. And I think for him, he would say Winnie. He would probably say Winnie. Now, he would have thought he had a real relationship with Casey, pretty much with Jamie. I'm not sure sometimes if he didn't deep down just know that this was all crap. Casey seemed real. Lorne doesn't have a good crap detector. He can't truly tell when something is just ridiculous, right? He can't tell. There was one time in his life, one period in his life, where I think Lorne was probably at his strongest. And that's Ramona. Number one, he'd just come out of prison. And he truly felt like he had been railroaded. Like he had the higher ground. Chris Hansen and Xavier were the evil men. He felt like he was famous. Didn't necessarily understand that he was infamous. He was one of the biggest names on NBC. I still think he probably thought there were going to be paparazzi following him around. Mr. Armstrong, what are you doing now? Lorne, what are you doing now? What gets me about this goof is just this thought that he could do anything he wanted and get away with it. And there's a reason. It's because he'd never had a relationship and he had no idea what boundaries were. He felt like he could say and do anything, treat Ramona however he wanted, because in his head, once you're together with somebody, fighting's normal. And you're really just fighting to keep the relationship going. She cared about him so much that she was willing to just argue with him, when in reality, she wasn't truly arguing. She was trying to get him to see the error of his ways. But, Lorne doesn't learn. That should be the theme across all phone calls. Lorne never learns. Well, ain't that a shock to the system? Think about all of the times he just repeated himself over and over and demanded answers and was enraged, cursing, abusing, screaming. He thought all of that was okay. Leaving those voicemails, getting drunker, and just going off the handle and making her life a living hell. See, Ramona, unlike Winnie, she had a compact life. She had a small group of friends, Casey. She had a small group of friends. She had a family that cared about her. She had a job. And she was a relatively calm, normal, successful, beautiful young woman who was driven with goals. And Lorne couldn't even handle that. So when he got to Winnie, we knew it was go time. I mean, she was around a different penis every other day, and that just can't happen with Lorne. And another reason Lorne felt like he was at the moral high ground. I'm gonna get that. Like, besides he's got his tongue is like thick, like caveman thick. Like it sticks out when he talks, I guess. I don't know, but it's always, I don't know about so weird. Lorne felt like he had a job and probably felt like he was still going to be a country music singer. Maybe even felt like, I'm going to get off probation and parole. He truly thought that. I'm going to get off probation and parole, until that became a battle cry for, you should come live with me, because I promise we're going to be off probation and parole. It's difficult to understand what really goes through that dickhead of his. But I do know he truly believed he was getting off probation and parole. He had that job. He still thought he was going to be a country music star. And he felt like he was actually standing on the same ground, equal footing as Ramona Quimby. Lorne does feel entitled, and you could see that with Ramona. He felt like it was owed to him. She was owed to him. She was going to stay no matter what. Just for a moment, just bear with me. I went out and read the 161 legitimate charges just from Hunter Biden's laptop alone, and the dude should be in prison forever. But because of Daddy, our boy is going to escape it. And I can't lie. As a father, I wouldn't want that for my son. I'd want him to learn a lesson. I'd want him to be punished just enough to where he got it, but I wouldn't want him to go away forever like Hunter Biden probably should be. And this is the point I'm making. I think you're like me. You want to protect your child, even when you know they've done some very, very, very bad things, but not his mom. Think about that. His mom should be ecstatic that there's a woman talking to him. Like, wow, my son finally he's gonna get with a woman and have kids. But I don't think she felt that way. And she didn't seem too convincing when she was telling Ramona Quimby, my son, he's good. I mean, I really expected her to go, he's special. And the mom thing, she didn't protect him. I just felt like she thought, go back to jail. You're a nuisance. You're causing me all sorts of problems. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Who really knows? But speaking of mom, we saw him use his mother. The only person he sees in the world as sinless. We saw him use his mother in full swing. My mother, my 65-year-old mother, my 71-year-old mother, my 72-year-old, her age is so important. If his mom was like my 40-year-old mother, you'd just be like, Lorne, your mom's the same age as you. How is that possible? Well, you know, it's this rare condition. My mom told me. My mom said that she had me when she was 1. He'd believe it. I was a miracle birth. The first baby to ever give birth to another baby. Who is so special? I am. When you don't have the support of your mom, there's a problem. So that was the first time he really kind of woke up a little bit like, holy crap, not even my mom. And I think the second time was when she was going out on that date and we saw Lorne melt down. We saw him want so badly to get her alone. We saw him want to get Emma off the phone. We saw Lorne desperately want to isolate Ramona so he could try to manipulate her. Why are you doing this? Lorne, you know the answer. And unfortunately for you, you don't ask the question unless you know the answers. She's telling him, Lorne, I want to go date good-looking guys, young, studly guys who can go all night long in my area. I want to go have fun. I don't want to be tied down to a 40-year-old pedo who lives in a hobbit hole in Maine. He just couldn't deal with it. And before that, it was, I woke up because my mom told me I was acting bad. We saw the power slip away. We saw him slowly wake up to how terrible he was until along came Winnie. And this is when he was at the height of his power for us. This is the entertainment factor that never stopped. Lorne is unreal. What he's willing to take, what he's willing to put up with just to have someone on the phone. Because with Winnie, the only time he really truly felt powerful, and I could see the argument, was because there was Emma and Dan. And even Debbie came into the picture, and Rhoda. There were people other than Winnie to talk to. He was willing to sacrifice whatever he had, thought he had with Winnie, just to have other people on the phone. And for him, it made him feel popular. It made him feel wanted. And we all know he wants to be chased. And even with Emma and Dan, he felt entitled for them to just deal with it. And Lorne's so stupid. See, he doesn't understand that if you have mutual friends and you call and you badmouth your significant other, those friends who are also friends with your significant other are going to tell them about it. So rather than trying to work it out with the woman you just abused and screamed at, he's going to call and complain about that woman that he abused, and they're going to tell her. And Lorne doesn't realize he made that phone call anyway. He made the phone call where he went crazy. He made that phone call to them. He went off on her. He made the phone call to Winnie because they're going to tell her. He may as well have just said it. He really is stupid, and we know this. When his world starts to crumble, only then does he open his eyes. And Ramona was crumbling right from the freaking beginning. She never said, "I love you." I don't think he ever tried to initiate real phone checks. Not like he did with Winnie and Debbie and all of these women. I mean, a guy who's willing to utter statements like, and I'm going to tone it down a little bit, I'm putting your penis in my butt. And then he has phone checks with a ghost, an alien. He's willing to do just about anything to feel wanted. And that phone sex stuff, see, sex is dangerous for him. Because I went through a phase where I kind of wanted to feel like I still mattered, like I was still attractive, still good looking, and I kind of just went crazy. And see, with Lorne, he would get addicted, and he would desperately want that feeling every day, all day. He would just go around going crazy, and we know Lorne. He'd wear a condom for the first time, maybe the second, and then the condom would come off, and that woman would be pregnant. Lorne also didn't care too much about sex. I think he thought in the beginning with Ramona it was going to happen no matter what. So he wasn't too worried about it. Then when he started to realize there's a possibility he might not get busy and she's getting busy with somebody else, that's when he became full-on rage monster. It's all about the penises for Lorne. It's all about the penises, baby. Instead of all about the Benjamins, if you're too young to know what that is. Feel sorry for you. So I do think Ramona was the one time he really felt powerful. He felt like they were on an even playing field. He felt like he was famous, that they were in a strong relationship, and that he could do whatever he wanted. Thank God it wasn't real. Thank goodness for every single woman out there on the planet that they didn't get with Lorne Armstrong, that he didn't knock them up when they were younger and they had to be attached to him for 18 years until his kid was old enough he didn't have to pay child support. I never thought I would be saying this, but next year, spring, I will only have one kid to pay child support for. The other one is turning 18, and it just opened up my eyes. Oh boy. Being a dad, it's one of the scariest moments, I think. But Lorne never had a dad, except for his loving stepdad who was with him. Why did he leave Uncle fucking Clay? I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.